I mean. All right. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Renatus J.A.M. My name is Jay Stark. Joining me, as always, is my fearless co-host,
Mr. Matt Snyder.
Mr. Matt Snyder.
That's right.
Every time I say that, I hear that in my head.
What is that?
Y'all ready for this?
Yes. Yes. I haven't heard that in a long time.
Right? It was kind of an 80s jock jams, 90s jock jams kind of thing.
90s would have been the last time I heard it. So.
90s.
Yeah.
All right. So,
good times.
I'm going to go ahead and let's see here.
The 90s were such a great decade.
said every child of the 90s.
I feel like it's true. You know what? And the first 10 years of the 2000s were great too. Just seems like, you know.
There was a 20-year span. Let me guess. No, I already know the answer to this question. I was going to say you hit between teenage and married life happens. Right there.
And responsibility ruined my life, Jay.
Good thing that your wife doesn't watch this. All right.
It's true.
So with that, Mr. Snyder, what's new and exciting?
Well, we've got a lot.
You know what? Can I stop you before we actually get into the new and or exciting?
Stop me.
We do have something that is new, very not exciting, and that is that one of our login pages was having some issues earlier today. So if you are having issues logging into the back office, look up at the address bar. If it says secure.myrenatus.com, change the word secure to Helios. Go to helios.myrenatus.com, and you'll be able to get to the login page. You'll be able to log in again and be able to get your stuff taken care of from there. That's how you can get into the back office right now if you're having any difficulties using Secure.
Yeah. And apparently I myself am one of them, right? But I guess that we don't use the secure.myrenatus that much anymore or something. I don't know. And I guess we got multiples and so, I had to figure this out for myself, but helios.myrenatus.com will get you in.
Helios.myrenatus.com will definitely get you into the back office so that you can get anything taken care of that you need to. So, put that one out there first. It's not really exciting, but it is new, and it's something that we need people to be aware of. All right. Now, what's new and or exciting?
I was looking at the camera.
What are you?
I'm at the top of the camera.
Oh my gosh!
I think.
All right, so here's the deal. Mr. Snyder is now distracted. He got his own little left turn thrown at him.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to do it to me once in a while. So it's turnabout's fair play.
All right, game on.
All good. I can
Go
stay
ahead, man.
on
Here,
track.
Watch
Jay.
this.
I can stay on track.
I'm gonna go ahead and put my notes away.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, you're gonna put it all on me now? All right, we've got the Mega Tour coming up. See, I don't need notes.
See, Mega Tour, that almost sounds like a dinosaur.
Yeah, it does, a Mega Tour.
Yeah, here comes the Mega Tour.
Or it sounds like kind of like Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, like a Mega Tour.
Or like a Minotaur.
Yeah.
Mega Tour. Standing at the maze of the infinite.
You know, I mean, I don't want to.
It's not as much fun.
I don't want to get political
when you play into my left turns here.
But I don't want to get. Politics aside, Donald Trump should have called his whole tour around the country where he did speeches the Mega Tour. Right, the double play. I don't know. Anyways, whatever.
You're killing me.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as effective when you play into my left turn, though.
Why?
Because, that's
this
how,
is fun.
For anybody, so Alvin Lamb says he loves dinosaurs, by the way.
Yes.
Which I think is hilarious.
So do I. They're freaking cool.
Dinosaurs are the best. But, okay.
Except I was bummed to find out velociraptors are not as big as they show in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, no,
they're
not nearly as big and not nearly as vicious as we once thought.
Right.
But just like in the snow, if you start to spin in the snow in a car, a lot of people erroneously think, I need to counter steer to correct the problem. But more often than not, steer into the turn will actually help you gain control quicker, because that's what it's all about.
Yes.
It's all about gaining control as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So anyway, when you, my friend, start steering into the turn on this podcast rather than counter steering, it makes it less fun.
Oh, shoot,
less fun.
Jay, I'm sorry. Well, that's what I do.
All right, so we
all bring special talents and abilities to this podcast. Mine is to turn hard left into the turn.
Hard left.
So
we've got the Mega Reunion Tour.
It's happening here tomorrow.
That's right.
At 7 p.m. is when the event starts.
Starting at 7 p.m.
And you should be here.
Join us.
Bring a guest.
Live in the Renatus studio.
What? You should bring as many guests as you possibly can. Bring
Absolutely.
your mom. Bring your brother.
Yep.
Bring everybody. But
bring your brother's brother.
It's going to be great. I hear Scott Rowe puts on one heck of a presentation.
It is something else. When you hear Bob Snyder go, that's a great presentation.
He did and has, and we were talking about it yesterday, and
Yeah.
he was like, Scott's presentation is on point. He didn't use that verbiage. I did, but that was what he was saying.
Yeah,
was
that's
that it was
exactly what he meant.
Really good, and that he's really dialed it in over the mega tours, and just it's so good. And so
Salt Lake City,
you want to be there. Bring
if you
a
go
guest.
to the Utah calendar in the back office right now, you can get registered. There's 3 events, part of every mega tour: the Thursday evening session, the Friday afternoon, and then the Saturday, the Super Saturday. So if you're able to make it to any of those, come and mix and mingle with Scott. I almost said Scott Snyder.
Scott Rowe,
Bob
Scott
Snyder,
Rowe.
Ryan Black, Laura Black, Richard Stock. They're all going to be here live at the last stop.
The
on
last
Mega
stop,
Reunion
but
Tour.
also I got to think, okay, so if you've got a guest here and you're working with that guest, you're talking to them about Renatus and how great it is. And they're kind of like, yeah, okay, maybe I want to check this thing out. What better to bring them to an event at the headquarters where they can see the studio with the founder and some of the top guys. I mean, there's going to be a lot of top guys here. So I would want my guest at that event. So even if I'm not able to be there, if you're in another state and you've got a guest that you can send down,
invite them.
Send them the address, man. So
Bring
or
them
woman.
down. Well, individual.
Individual. Well, I said man. Anyways.
All right. So I have breaking news for today.
Okay.
And that is that the room block that we have assigned for the national conference expires today.
So when? Tonight at 7? At 10? When does the hotel close?
It goes until 11:59 p.m.
Okay.
And that's when the room block expires. Now, I do not have numbers. I cannot tell you how many rooms are filled or not filled. It could be full at this point. I don't know. I do know that it is the best rate for the room in the area, and it is connected to the same facility that we're hosting the national conference.
That's the biggest thing, because I don't know. I haven't checked hotel prices in this area because I live 10 minutes away, but I've thought gosh, I mean, if I'm going to book any one of those hotels in the area, I want to be on the one that's attached to the conference center.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
So that expires today. Now, to get any more information that you're looking for about the room block, go to the national conference event on the calendar and look at the description. Inside of the description is the link to the Renatus room block at the host hotel. Okay. It's the Hilton Garden Inn in Layton, Utah. If you just look up again, just go to the calendar, open up the event, you'll see the link there, follow that, and then you'll be able to get the best rate.
I like how you say, when you're talking to people outside of Utah, you say Layton. You really enunciated that T. That was good. That's not how we say it here.
You know what? As Mr. Hiller can attest, in the Ohio, we know how to talk.
Okay. All right. Well,
here's what I don't understand. Okay, I'm a transplant to Utah.
Yes.
Right? I grew up just outside of Cleveland, and I came here and I thought, holy cow, I'm surrounded by a bunch of hicks because they cannot pronounce the letter T.
It's true.
Because you live in Utah, but you go to the city Layton.
Well, people say Utah just
Mountain.
fine. That's the T's fine on Utah. It's just mountain or Layton.
Oh my gosh.
Or
oh my gosh.
You know.
That kills me.
Yeah.
Kills me. All right. Where I grew up, Weber. Pronounce it.
Weber.
Exactly. That's Weber.
Yeah, I know. And I love it because anytime I've heard like a news report or something outside of the state, whether it's Tooele, I've heard Moab be pronounced Moab, and Weber. I've heard it all, and it's hilarious. And you can Nephi was the funniest one. Nephi. I heard somebody pronounce Nephi, and I was like, "That's
we
awesome."
have some of the silliest names here. Now, granted, some of them are pretty cool. You know, I like that Utah is named after the Ute tribe. Yeah. I think that's way cool.
I do too.
And but there's like
Bountiful
Duchesne.
Yeah.
Which is spelled Duchesne. I don't get that one.
It is.
All right.
But Centerville's the coolest of them all because it's the center of all, the universe.
Yes.
I can prove this with math.
With math.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
It's where Renatus is HQ.
It gets deep. There's like chickens involved and, you know.
Yep. Chickens.
All right. So
it requires the earth to be flat.
Okay, I leaned into that left turn. Okay, so here we go. We did have a couple of questions come across the chat. I love seeing everybody participate with us. Jen, it's always good to see you on the line with us as well. I did have Alvin ask, since we aren't doing an intro at Nationals, would you still invite guests who have never been to any exposures to the conference? And the answer to that is you are welcome to, and every participant at the National will need a ticket.
Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what, if I could get a prospect or a lead of some sort,
yes,
to the National,
yes,
yeah. I'll tell you what, that's, you know, I have in the past, admittedly, I have subsidized the ticket even to get a button seat because meaning that you paid for somebody else to come. I did, because I knew how valuable it would be for that person, and I was not wrong. You know, it's all about changing lives, and there are so many. I mean, we're going right into the next line item, which is the National Conference is coming up. Yep. It's where the business goes from your head to your heart. It's where you take all of the understanding, all of the knowledge, all of the experience that you have with the Renatus opportunity, and instead of thinking about it, it's where you start to feel it. Yes. You know, I lived in Germany for 2 years, and while I was there, I studied the language. And there was a tipping point about 4 months after I got there where I realized I was no longer thinking in English. I was thinking in German. That's the tipping point that will happen at the National Conference. You will stop thinking in dollars and cents, and you will start feeling it. Oh my gosh, that's a great analogy, and that totally clicked for me. I've never thought about like thinking kind of when you daydream or dream, right? I guess, and do you dream in German? Did you start to dream in German? Absolutely. I did everything in German. When I got back into the States, I lived there for just under 22 months. I was there for 22 months. Almost 2 years. Yeah. Almost 2 years in Germany. And when I got home, I had to translate from German to English when I talked to people. In your brain, you're in like having a switch. Yeah. And then, you know, flipping back into English did not take anywhere near as long as shifting into German because it was my native tongue. And so it was about 2 or 3 weeks before I realized I was thinking in English again. And so how much German can you speak now? Like, because you probably don't get very many opportunities to practice. Not as many as I would. I'm sure, like if we dropped you in Germany a week later, you would be like back at it. Right? Oh yeah, like, you know, yeah. So, it would not take long. Yeah. My German is still there. Yeah. I still say certain words in German. My kids know certain phrases, like they can yell at one another in German. Now I don't teach them any swear words. I don't teach them any swear words. Yeah. But I have taught them. You know, they know certain phrases because they hear them all the time. Ach du liebe Zeit, was machst du da für ein Quatsch? What does that mean? Ach du liebe Zeit means oh thou dearest time. Okay. It's an like expression a thing they for say? Like it's for like like how do I express that? Like what are you doing? Oh, okay. Like what are you doing? I got you. You know, it's ach du liebe Zeit. But it's a thing. And then was machst du da für ein Quatsch is
what kind of mess are you making?
Huh.
You know?
Okay.
And
Yeah, I can see that. You know,
yeah.
being
Anyway,
said. Yeah, children.
I loved it. Love it.
Children.
Children.
Oh my
And
gosh.
German. German is wonderful.
Yeah.
If you had to pick another language to learn, I would highly recommend German. It's a good one.
I'm going for Spanish.
Donde está el baño?
Yeah, I
The
know
funny
that.
thing is once you learn a second language, learning a third seems like it's easier.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, let's move on.
enough of the left turns.
Enough of the left turns.
All right.
But
All right, Jay.
at the national conference, I love what Jen Colucci said here. She said, this is 100% what happened to me last year when I attended my very first national conference.
The head
She's
to the
talking
heart
about
thing.
the head to
yeah,
the heart.
Yeah.
You feel the emotion. And Jen, if last year was your very first nationals, buckle up, because when they're live, they are so much more impactful. And by live, I mean in person.
In person. They
When
are
you
so
are
much,
in
yeah.
person, the whole emotion and the energy in the room builds.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
really, it's undescribable.
And I mean, you know, I've actually done this for a handful of people where I either bought a conference ticket for them, or I have purchased airline tickets for people in the past, all the way up to $900 ticket. It was round trip, right?
Yeah.
But I did it knowing that this person, it would make a huge difference in their lives,
Right.
and that I just knew if they could make it to the national, they would see what it is and buy education.
Yeah.
And I was right
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
Every one of them bought
Bought
combos too, not just, you know. So I'm not making any promises or guarantees, or, you know what I mean? Who knows what'll happen? But like, I've done it a handful of times. It worked every time. So,
Yeah. The Alvin asked, will we be masked up?
No.
No.
I mean, you're welcome to wear a mask if it
Absolutely.
makes you feel more comfortable. Nobody's going to make fun of you or give you crap or anything
No.
like that. We're just following the guidelines here in Utah, the law here in Utah, and I believe the law now says no masks.
Well,
I can't remember what was in
here's-
it, but there was, yeah. But if you wear a mask, nobody's going to give you crap. And so,
No. Here's
yeah.
the deal. In Utah, we very much respect the right of every person to make their choice.
Yeah.
And whatever that choice is. And so if you choose to wear a mask, if you choose to whatever it is, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yep.
I should warn you that our group they're huggers. There's lots of hugging that goes on. So brace yourself
are,
for the
and
hugs.
I mean, it's, you know, and that is a thing, and so it's not, I don't know. I mean, I don't like to get sick. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, as a certified germaphobe, if you will, I guess, like, that's always been a thing for me long before pandemic times.
Yeah.
But I've never had any issues with it at the national. People, when you know, if you're sick, if you're running a fever, you're sick or whatever, you know, then either don't come, or if you test, you know, I would want to test personally. This all comes back to what you know, you assume your own risk, right?
Amen to that.
Especially here in Utah, that's just kind of the way things operate. And so, you know, if you get sick, I'd want to know if I had COVID, so I'd just take a test. That way, you know, you're not going to expose everybody else or something. But, yeah, you know. But
Love
man,
it.
when I got a
Love
fever, I'm in bed.
Yeah. If you're sick, don't go around other people. That's just kind of, you know, like when you were a little kid, your parents made you stay in your room.
Yeah.
All right.
So, anyways,
So we'll keep moving
but
along.
who hasn't had COVID at this point anyways? I don't know anybody at this point that hasn't. Well, you. I forgot about you.
I know that this is going to be an unpopular thing to say, but I tried.
Why is that unpopular?
I tried.
Why not try and get it over with?
Because here's the deal. COVID carried obviously certain risks with it.
Sure.
I am very blessed to not be in any of the high risk categories at all.
Yeah.
And so I decided early on that I was going to get COVID because I figured everybody would. Everybody gets the flu. Everybody gets a cold. Everybody
has that I know of. Yeah.
Yeah. COVID went through my house and only 2 of us got it. There's 8 of us that live together, right? Me, my wife, and my 6 kids. And one of my kids and my wife got it and no one else. So
which
there you go.
I have no idea how that
I don't
happened.
know either.
Like how you didn't, but anyways.
I don't know.
All
right. So
yeah.
So here's the deal. If come to the national conference, be careful, be sensitive. That's another thing.
Yeah, be sensitive.
We have We have people from all different walks of life, from all different backgrounds and experiences. So be sensitive. Go easy on the cologne or perfume. Don't push people around. If there's a problem, come and get one of the staff members. We'll help you. We'll take care of you. We love the Renatus community.
That's
we
right.
love what we do. And so we will do everything that we can to make sure this is going to go off, not just without a hitch, but powerfully enabling every single person there to make progress in their business like never before.
That's what we're after.
Booyah.
So,
Okay.
buddy.
Let's see here. What else do we got? We got the Mega Reunion Tour. We talked about the login. We talked about the National Conference.
10-day challenge.
The 10-day challenge.
Just started.
Yes, it did. And we have had over 100 entries on the very first day.
That's what I hear. I'm excited about that,
Oh,
man. That's a great number.
That is a great
lot
number.
Of people,
so this is number 6. This is the 6th 10-day challenge, which means that we are actually going to have people finishing for the 6th time.
That's cool.
As Spartans.
Yeah. But I'm also very excited for those people who are finishing for the first time.
Oh man. It's like sunblock.
Yeah.
The higher you get, the more effective it is, but the biggest difference is like between 0 and 15.
The SPF 15
yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
that's the biggest difference.
Having
15
none at
and
all
30
or
is,
exactly.
you get up to 120 SPF, it doesn't make that much difference between 50 and 120,
Sure,
but,
yeah, it's that first one. So that first application.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the very first one is going to make the biggest difference. So for all of those people that are in it for the very first time, congratulations. You're in the right place and you're taking the right steps to move forward in your Renatus opportunity.
Right.
For those of you who have already completed it, feel free to get on the page if you're not partaking in this challenge and congratulate the people that are, because you know what kind of difference it will make in their lives. Lastly, for those people who have not yet participated in the 10-day challenge, whether you're waiting to see whether or not it really works, or you think to yourself, I don't have time. If you wait until you have time, this is advice that somebody gave me when I was very young. They said, Jay, if you wait until you have enough money to have kids, you'll never have kids.
It's true. I mean, how often that's true of life. Just you never feel like you're ready for that thing that
Right. So if you wait until you have time to do the 10-day challenge instead of just making the time,
that's right.
Then you'll be waiting a very long time.
Very long time.
And you'll be leaving a lot of opportunity on the table, and you'll only be hurting yourself. So I want to encourage all of you that are on the line, everybody who's listening to this, complete the 10-day challenge. If you haven't started yet on this very first, on number 6, if you missed the first day because the first day was yesterday, today's day 2, send an email to customerservice@myrenatus.com. In the title of the email, put these words. Let me think. I got to come up with a unique title. What would because Jay said so?
Yeah, that's a good one.
There you go.
That's a great one.
In the title, put because Jay said so, and we will help get you taken care of so that you can complete the homework from day 1. So you got to get in there and complete the homework for day 2 today. But if you send an email with the title because Jay said so, then we will.
I like that.
We'll get you helped out.
That's
we'll
wonderful.
get you taken care of.
That's
That's what we're all about.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. I tell my son that. All right. How about to get my jam off? I need to get my jam off. That's funny. I need to get my jam on. That's what you should put in the title.
That's right.
I'm just kidding. Just make the email title because Jay said so. Jen, you're awesome. So funny. Okay. 10-day challenge, room block. All right. Here's the time where we start to transition into our featured guest for today, and we've got a doozy. Oh, it's going to be awesome. But before we do, I wanted to make sure that I share with you a little bit about the Renatus J.A.M and about Renatus as a whole. The Renatus J.A.M is an opportunity for Matt and I to come out, have some fun, laugh a little bit, and create a really informal environment where we discuss the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, everything regarding Renatus and the Renatus opportunity. The reason why we do it is because we love what Renatus is, what it represents, and the way that it's changed our lives, and the way that we've seen it change thousands of lives across the entire nation. In fact, we were trying to quantify just this week with Bob Snyder. We were sitting there talking with him, and we were thinking about the number of lives that have been affected because of the Renatus opportunity. And we couldn't even put an accurate number on it, but it's in the tens of thousands.
Yep.
We love what Renatus is. And that's why we do the Renatus J.A.M every single week. That's why we come to you live. That's why we laugh. That's why we're always happy to be here, is because we love what we do. Coming to work is not a chore, it's an opportunity. And that's what Renatus is all about. It's all about taking real the opportunity that's right in front of us and being accountable for what it is that we create. Being accountable for how we show up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love what we do, and that's what the Renatus J.A.M is all about. It's about sharing the love with you so that you can go out there and start to make progress in your life like never before. Because the old adage says, if it's up to be, or if it's meant to be, wow, I totally hosed that one.
If it is to be, it is up to me.
There it is.
Yes.
If it is to be, it's up to me, because
Yes.
that's what Renatus is all about. We empower people to go out there and start creating to their own success. And I'm going to give you a little key right here. You know what? Don't tell anybody I told you this, but our very first speaker at the national conference will be Mr. Bob Snyder. And the title of his training is We Create Real Estate Investors. That's going to be the new tagline inside of Renatus. When somebody asks you, what is Renatus? You repeat these words: We create real estate investors. That's what we're all about. That's what we do. And that's what Bob's going to train on. It's going to be, if you've never seen it, it's going to be crazy.
Well, and that's why we're trying to quantify that number. I'd love to know what it is. I don't know how we would ever figure that out. But the number of people who never did any real estate, bought our education, met the community, came down to the study groups, learned how to do real estate, and then purchased or did their first transaction.
Yep.
I know that number's got to be in the thousands, just based off previous national conferences where we've done the Walk of Fame and the real estate walk and stuff like so. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's huge, and I didn't ask Bob permission to really spill the beans on that, so don't go and tell him. I don't want him to get mad at me.
Top secret. It'll be our little secret. It's
yes,
good that none of my family watches this podcast.
It is going to be our little secret, because here's the deal. The agenda is one of the things that we do not disclose until the national conference. I have not told anybody what the agenda is, even though I've had so many people ask.
Yes.
Anyway, all right.
Absolutely.
So that being said, can I introduce our featured story?
Yes, absolutely.
So our featured story has been one of my most trusted accomplices when it comes to the Renatus opportunity. That sounds kind of wrong, but it feels so right because who she is, how she shows up, and what she brings to the table is what enables the Renatus opportunity, not just for me, but for every single ICM in the business to move forward. She has made an impact from the very first day that she showed up and every single day since. She is I have relied on her time and time again, and she is absolutely phenomenal. I am honored to bring out onto the call none other than Miss Tera Gilsdorf.
Hello.
Tera, I have often referred to you and the whole customer advocacy team as the voice of the company, and let me just tell you, you do a great job of being an advocate for our people. And in fact, I bet that every single person on the line has had opportunity to talk with you at least once or twice. But I'm going to try to do words here. I can do words, I promise. I got a couple of questions for you. How long have you been with Renatus?
Ooh, so next month it'll be 6 years.
6 lovely years. Best years of your life,
Holy
right?
smokes.
Yeah.
So did you, when you first got here, did you have a national that you went to? Because they're usually at the end of March. So you say next month is 6 years.
So no, I started, it was like just a couple weeks after nationals ended.
Shoot,
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
because
That's right.
there were some nationals I know we
Yeah.
held like earlier in March and stuff because we had to book the dates. Then, I don't know,
Yeah.
anyways, so yeah.
Yeah, I just missed
So you
it.
just missed it. All right.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
Well,
right.
That's cool though. So yeah, that would be quite a baptism by fire. So,
Well, yeah. So that
Yeah.
means that you had to wait almost a year between the time you started and the first national conference that you got to attend. So if you've been with us for 6 years, hang on, I can do this. 5 years ago would have been 2017, which was I Will.
that sounds right, Jay.
Was that the
Yes.
first
Is it I
national?
will?
Yeah. Yep, because
Man.
16 was Crush It, and that's the one that I had just missed.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
I will was such a banger. That was a great one. I loved that national.
Such a banger.
I loved it. Oh man, such a
So
good one.
Tera, tell me, what? Why did you decide to come to Renatus? Because you were working for the biggest private employer in the state of Utah when you came over here, right?
Yes, you know them well.
I do know them well. So
The biggest
why?
private employer. Oh, I think I know. Are we not going to say? Or?
Oh, I don't care. It's IHC. Intermountain
Yeah, that's
Healthcare.
what I thought.
They
I
don't
had to
actually go by
do the
IHC
math,
anymore, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Intermountain Healthcare here in
Yeah.
the state of Utah is the biggest private employer in the state.
I did know that. I just didn't know you worked for IHC. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what?
I did, yep.
Why did you choose to come to Renatus?
Oh, so I needed a change in my life where I was at. I mean, I was at Intermountain for 14 years is where
Wow.
yeah. And so I think back and I'm like, wow, but wanted a change. The little bit that I'd looked up about Renatus, before my interview and stuff, I just good vibes immediately. So, I so glad I did it. Best thing I ever did. Was leave Intermountain and come to Renatus.
I agree with you. It is the best thing you've ever. No, I'm kidding. You are. It's easy for me every time that we talk to hear how much you love our community, how much you love our people, how much you love the opportunity. So when for you did Renatus go from your head to your heart?
It probably honestly was nationals. The first nationals I was able to attend. Immediately. Like I remember day one, I was on phones in your office, Jay. You remember that?
I do.
You took like 2 calls and you're like, it's on you. So,
I remember
but
that.
everyone.
Yeah,
you?
that was my
I
baptism
do.
by fire right
Yeah.
there. I just kind of threw you
Because I
into it.
remember they at least gave me 48 hours before they just threw me to the wolves.
Deep into the pool. I knew Tera could handle it. I was like, yeah.
And
It was good. But no, right from the beginning, like everyone who I talked to was so like happy and friendly, and I've done customer service for a while, and it was just so refreshing to have like just everyone who called in
Positive
was just friendly. They
customers.
just needed help. Yeah, positive.
Yeah.
And so I knew right from the beginning, oh, good move. This is going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
So talking with people over the remainder of the year leading up to the next nationals, I'm going to say nationals was when it went really to my heart, because you see the people that you've been talking to and they've told you their stories, and it is life-changing. You guys already said it about nationals. It is life-changing.
I know. I wish it was easier to quantify to somebody who's never been before, because that's what you just say. Well, it was a game changer. It went head to the heart, but it's like you can't describe why.
Describe salt without using
exactly.
the word salty.
What does salt taste like? Exactly. That's trying to describe the national without having been. So yeah, I would agree. It was that for me too.
I tell you what, when we go to the national, I'm going to ask, how many of you, this is your first national?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to ask, how many of you, is this your second, third, fourth? And here's what everyone can look forward to seeing. I can guarantee there will be several people in the room that have attended every single national conference.
Yeah.
Because for them, it is a non-negotiable event.
Yeah.
They don't
should
miss.
As it should be.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was my dad has the reasons: baby, death, or if you're having
deployment.
getting married. Getting married was one of them. If you're not getting married on that day,
it's death, dismemberment, or deployment. Those are the 3 reasons to miss.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
I think we could add hospitalized for that too. So
probably.
Maybe. Only a maybe.
If you ask Bob Tierney will tell you exactly what the power of the national conference is.
Yeah.
And why it is that he will never, ever miss one.
Yeah.
Ever.
Plus, I just like asking him that question to see him cry. So
right?
You should too.
Dude, he gets those eyes going. I cannot do the Tierney eyes.
Emotional.
I don't have them. But he just gets going, and you feel it right along with him. You get right there with him. But
you do. Bob's great.
Yeah, he really is. So, all right, Tera, what are some of the rewarding experiences that you've had? You've been interacting with most ICMs. I can't say you've talked to every ICM, but you've talked to every ICM basically who is in their business center, who is making that kind of progress. They're taking the advantage of the opportunity. So what are some of the rewarding experiences? And it doesn't have to be an exact experience. It can just be I like it when this happens.
So like what people I've talked to, like what?
Yeah. When do you hang up the call going, I know I just made a difference in the world?
Oh. Well, a thank you at the end of the call is always nice. We usually get those anyways, but I love hearing people's stories, or something they're looking forward to, an event that night. They've got guests coming, and then I talk to them a few days later, and they're like, "Oh, so and so showed up," and I love that. So I love hearing people's stories, hearing follow up. You can hear it in people's voices too. I mean, when they're so grateful. And I'm blessed to be able to hear that, because I mean, all the work that you guys do when you're not like on the phones like I am, or Audrey. So we hear it in people's voices just how grateful they are. I love talking to people. So
right on. I know that there have been so many times when I have received personal messages that go something along the lines of this: "Dear Jay, thank you for Tera. Love, whoever."
Aww.
I mean, they are that simple but that direct, because you make such a powerful difference for people. People feel like you not only care about them, but that you're effective in helping them to resolve their problems or their concerns, or to educate them on where they can find the information they're looking for. I mean, you do such a great job. And I mean, being here with us for 6 years, you have seen quite a bit and done quite a bit and been through all of it. So let me ask you this: which of the Renatus lip sync videos has been your favorite? I know what mine is.
Yeah, I know
like
what mine is.
our
music videos.
Ooh, last year was pretty fun with the robot. Probably the realtor, where I was
there it is,
which I didn't love. I don't love being the star of anything, but that was fun. So 80s realtor.
That was cool. The Renatus Rocks.
The Renatus Rocks
lip
video.
sync.
Yeah, Renatus Rocks.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I love it. I just got a message on Facebook. "Dear Jay Stark, thank you for Tera. Love, Adam."
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
Oh man. Yeah, that's awesome. I love the Renatus Rocks video as well. You did so good at just embodying a character of somebody who is a professional, who then gets inspired by what the Renatus opportunity is and really starts to let loose and have fun. Because that's what Renatus is all about. It's empowering people to make progress in their lives so that they're happy. Yeah. Right? I mean, that's what progress is.
That they're
progress.
Free. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So that they're free and they're I loved it. That was mine too. Don't tell anybody I said that.
Why?
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but, you
Oh.
know, Renatus rocks. It's kind of my thing, you
Oh,
know?
it for sure is. For
Yeah.
sure is.
And
It's
and
tough, though.
I have yet another personal connection, which is we shot that in my house.
Oh, yeah, that was your
We
flip.
did.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was one of my properties.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was great. You know what? It's tough to. I had one that I had the most fun filming, and then one that I enjoyed the
Yeah.
most once it was done, finished product.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which one was your, give it to me. What were they?
The favorite one filming was last year's when, you know, I got to ride a motorcycle and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
play all day.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was like the whole day of filming.
I was
gotta
driving
be-
the Freedom Wagon around.
I
That's
loved
right.
it. It was awesome. But the finished product, the best one that I liked was the robot where Adam
Yeah.
Adam was evil.
So,
Adam
Last year was
you
Shift.
tackled me.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was pretty fun.
We gotta find that. Is it like on YouTube somewhere or
Oh
something?
yeah. So
I
they've
need to dig
actually
that
been
up.
they've been on the homepage of
Well,
Helios.
I've been watching some of them. Right, I saw Crush It come up on the homepage. There was another one, but I have not seen
I
that
think,
one
you know,
particularly.
Michael Huggins actually asked me the other day for us to make a playlist of all of the
We totally
music
do.
videos.
We totally need
We
to.
should totally put that together.
Good
It's just
idea.
it just needs to be
Yeah.
a YouTube playlist on our channel. But
Yeah.
yeah, my daughter, I gave her a copy, like a link or something to it, and she literally watched it over 50 times because, you know, I mean, this is my daughter. I have multiple brothers-in-laws who work here, plus her grandfather works, right? Like, so there's all this family that's in this, so she knows everybody in the video, but it's put together like a movie, and it's really well done. It was
It
like
is.
really well done. Jake spent an enormous amount of time on it, but he totally, it's like I need another week of overtime. Like, you know, it was hilarious,
guy.
but he put it together and it was great. And anyways, so it looked like a movie that all of her family
did.
was in, and she loved it. But
It did. So Jen Colucci writes this: Dear Matt and Jay, thank you for the jam. Love, Renatus ICMs.
yes.
We're gonna have all these little expressions of
I
gratitude.
love that. That's the first one I've ever
Good.
had.
I love it.
first one I've ever had.
Keep them coming. Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing quite like asking people to appreciate you.
Please validate me.
Oh man, you know the funny part is Matt's not a validator,
Not at all.
in any way, shape, or form.
Not even
I was
close.
just thinking that. I'm like,
Yeah.
that one.
I did the
man.
drive system. It was the last one on the list. It was literally in prioritization. Went to the very bottom.
So funny, so funny. My like I did the drive thing and it like started like twitching. It didn't know what to do with itself because it's like we don't. You're a weirdo.
Can't put you in a box, huh?
Yeah, no boxes for
No
me.
box J.
No box.
Yeah. All right.
Nah, it came up as as a validator for Jay.
Yeah, I think that's probably number one for you.
Jay,
Right? That would be top.
dude,
of
it
the
was funny. I
list.
was talking to Woody about it one time, and I said, Woody, I don't like that I'm a validator. And he said, Jay, no validator does.
Right. Oh, I thought he would like validate you in
No.
your, you know, that would be the move, Woody. Not, yeah, it's true.
Oh, man.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I am validator. Don't love it. Whatever. Stupid.
Well,
Anyway.
you're around a lot of them, and
Yes.
I feel like most of the people I know are validators. Like the majority, you know, it's probably, I don't know, 30-40%. It feels like.
It's really interesting because Woody taught me a principle about the drive system a long time ago that I love. And that is that your secondary drive is what you use to validate your primary drive.
Yeah.
And so whatever number 2 is actually what you recognize in people more often. And so when you look at somebody, you'll go, oh, they're acting as a validator. Well, that's probably their second drive. And so if you can figure out why they're acting as a validator, you'll figure out their primary drive.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting because when you start looking at it that way, you're like, Oh, you're not actually a validator relator. You're a relator validator.
Yeah. So what is number 2 for you?
Director.
I see that so much.
I
Totally,
know. I
Yes,
know.
so much.
I know.
Is that like you say it like it's a bad thing?
It is.
Why?
Because I don't want to be a director.
What do you want to be?
I don't know. I feel like, there's relators out there that are really sweet and kind and love people.
Uh-huh.
You've got the intellectuals out there that are really just love information, love digging, love finding it. You've got the what is E? Executives who loves the list and loves being able to be productive and get it done. And then you've got the 2 that are like, I like to play and I like to just go out and screw around.
Yeah.
And
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I like it. So yeah.
I tell you what, for everybody on the line, tell me what your 2 drives are. I would be surprised if there's another validator director out there.
I want to know what Tera's is.
Tara, what are your drives? I've got a guess, but go ahead.
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. They might be switched around, but one was the intellect, and then I think the second was the executive. Or
yeah,
executor.
Yeah,
100%.
I see that.
Might be flip-flopped.
I see that.
Yeah.
No, I think you've got it right.
Yeah.
I think you're an intellectual first, executive second. That sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yep.
And I can say that. I mean, you and I, we've known each other for 6+ years, or 6 years, I guess, coming up on 6 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's exactly what you are. You're awesome.
Yep.
I'm surrounded by intellectuals. You're an intellectual.
Really? Yeah, but really? Who else besides us 2?
Whitney, my wife.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I didn't know what her drive was.
yeah.
What is
she's an intellectual relator.
That's what I am.
I see it. I see it.
Okay. If you want to see 2 polar opposites, 2 ends of one magnet, you would have validator on one end and intellectual on the other.
I know, right? Like, but we work well.
We do.
We work great.
We do.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's possible.
It is possible.
There's a person.
Dreams do come true.
There are personality. Everybody's different in how they. Because I've met people that I'm like, you're whatever it may be. Kind of baffled.
Oh, once you know it, you see it though, and you're like, okay.
You do get to know them a little bit. Yeah, but it's just Anyways.
Yeah. Nicholas Hiller put on here that he's a relator director. Veronica Cuevas, same thing, relator director. I think that one's actually pretty.
It's pretty common.
Pretty common is the relator director. The one that you'll never see or not see very often is a validator intellectual.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Tara,
that's true.
Back to you.
I don't know a single one.
Yeah,
that's right. That's
you. Right. Tell me a little bit about, how many lives do you think have changed because of Renatus? We were kind of talking about it a little bit. What are your thoughts? How many people has Renatus affected?
Oh my heavens. Thousands. I mean, it's so hard to put a number on that. Oh yeah, thousands upon thousands. I mean, how could it not? I don't know how someone could, be part of Renatus and have it not change their life. It seems crazy to think that.
How often?
Yeah, my guess is thousands.
How often do you hear of people that have done their first deal since coming and buying Renatus education and getting plugged in? Like when you talk to people, how often does that happen?
Oh, weekly. I mean,
yeah,
I hear stories. Yeah, brand new people that have just signed up. Dig right into education.
Started doing deals. Yeah.
And they had their, goal of what they wanted to do in mind. Our education just was the cherry on the cake that just helped them do it.
Yeah.
So
I've tried to
hear
figure that
a lot
out.
of the stories.
So weekly. Like
I would say weekly.
Once a week, you come across somebody who's done a deal because after getting into Renatus.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's awesome. That's
my
that would be probably on par with my experience. I wondered because I hear a lot of people. I hear a lot of stories.
So Tera, you've obviously known me and Matt and Bob for a long time.
6 years.
Yeah, long time. Tell me what your experience with Bob has been. Tell me kind of what your perspective is on him.
So I have never met anyone like Bob. Jay, you're probably the closest to Bob. That I've met. He what you see is who he is. He is the same person whether he's talking to you one-on-one or presenting in the room in front of thousands of people. He's amazing. I mean, he just shines. He's an amazing man. He's brilliant. I mean, I'm trying to think of all these words to describe Bob, but on my favorite thing about Bob is he comes into the office daily. I mean, you see him, you work with him. Most CEOs, I don't think would do that. They kind of hand the reins over and leave it at that. But Bob is right in the trenches with all of us every day. He's a very hard worker.
Right on. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. He is phenomenal. And I love that he's a visionary like I've never known before.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone like that. So I'm 100% with you. That's awesome. And that's a great compliment to say, Jay, you're like Bob. It's like, oh, that's huge for me.
The closest. Yep, for sure.
That's huge. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Miss Tera, I very much appreciate you being on the call today. I appreciate everything about who you are and how you show up every single day ready to work. I love that you are. I love referring to, because I tell everybody, I was like, Tera is even keeled. You don't let things get you rocking. You don't get all upset if you've had a bad call or a bad morning, and you just come in ready to take care of the next person. Okay, that person was unhappy. Well, next, let's get this person taken care of. And you do a phenomenal job of just being the voice of Renatus to all of our customers. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love what I do. So
easy
100%,
to see.
I love it.
Yeah, it shows. Thank you, Tera.
Well, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us once again for the Renatus J.A.M. We will be back next Wednesday with more updates with another guest. I don't even know. Who's our guest for next week?
Who wants to be? Facebook us.
Facebook.
I don't have anybody particular in mind at the moment.
No, you were supposed to say it's a surprise.
It's a surprise to all of us.
There we go, including me. Oh man. Well, I tell you what, I am very, very looking forward to what we are creating right now, and you guys are going to be blown away with what you see at the national conference, because Bob has reserved the most impactful and the most nuts and bolts training for the national, because he has said the people that show up to the national conference, those are the people that have shown me they are serious about their Renatus opportunity, so I will give them unreservedly. So look forward to just having an amazing national. I hope between now and next Wednesday you guys are taking serious the 10-day challenge. Remember, if you want to get involved, if you missed day one but you want to be able to make it up real quick, just send an email to customer service just stating that, hey, I want to get caught up on the 10-day challenge, but make sure the title of the email is
Jay said so.
Because Jay said so.
Because Jay said so.
Oh, man. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us once again. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Andrew James, who's our producer on the show. I also want to give a shout out to Bob. He's the corporate sponsor,
He is.
He's the corporate. Every week we should give a shout out to Bob Snyder.
Yes, we should. He sponsors us. He
does.
Pays for this podcast.
He does.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Much gratitude to Mr. Bob Snyder.
Right on. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful week. And don't forget, the reason why Renatus rocks is because of the people who are associated with it. Renatus rocks.